Welcome to another tutorial for Requirement Yogi Cloud. Today, we'll talk about the Transformation Wizard and how it can help you write requirements more efficiently and import requirements from outside of Confluence faster. Before we get started on how to use the wizard, note that it is mostly used for table-written requirements. If you are using paragraphs and want to generate requirements for titles, you can use our linear documents configuration. The first way to apply a transformation is from the page. In View mode, click on the small Yogi byline at the top and on the Transformation Wizard. On the left, you'll have a preview of your page, helping you view the document that you're about to transform. The configuration of the transformation will happen on the right-hand side. At first, you'll be able to select an already saved transformation or create a new one, which we'll do. Click on Add Rule and choose the one you want to start with. We'll go through each one so you know exactly what they do. If you have imported your specifications from another place like a Word document and your keys are already written in your table, you can use the rule to transform text into keys. If you have many tables on the page, you can choose specific ones as well as the column you want it applied to. You can use regular expressions to select specific characters to replace and exclude requirements that you do not want to transform in the column. Click on Submit and you'll have an overview of the transformation applied. At this step, you can click on steps of transformations to edit them, reorder, or add other rules. We'll add a new rule just for the example. Pretty much like the previous transformation, this one is useful to transform text into Requirement Yogi link macros, creating dependencies. Note that when you use this transformation, the target requirement needs to be defined somewhere first. Just like the first rule, you can choose the table and column you want to transform. Click on Submit and see that we have a summary of both rules. I'll go ahead and save this transformation to reuse it later. To save a transformation, just put a name. If the name already exists, it will override the previous transformation. Saving the transformation is not mandatory, you can just click on Transform. See now the definition macros in the first column and links in the other. If you've made a mistake or simply would like to uninstall Requirement Yogi and keep your requirements, we have created a reverse transformation. This rule can transform text both ways, so we will use it to transform macros into plain text. Ta-da! The macros have been removed from the page. We have also seen situations where users copy-paste definitions to another place, and then they want to transform them into links. This rule can also do it if you tick Definition and Link. If adding requirement key after requirement key is taking too much time, you can create your table first, and then generate the keys automatically. In this configuration, you'll need to configure your key pattern. If your first row already has a requirement, you can tick this box to reuse the same pattern. If you want to reuse this configuration for several pages, then you can use variables, which can use the page title to form capital letters in your requirement keys. Otherwise, you can just type the prefix you want, the number of digits, and the start number. And same as before, you can choose the table and column. Please note that the requirement numbers don't reset, so we will always generate new numbers. If you have deleted requirements and want to restart the sequence numbers, please contact the support and we will do it for you. Note that you can still create the requirements without the wizard. If you import tables from Excel, for example, with the copy and paste, you may notice that your requirements are not correctly indexed and do not have properties. Headers are what help us to identify the content and properties of the requirements, so it probably means that when pasting the table headers were not correctly set up. You can mark the first row as headers manually in Confluence, or there is a rule for that. If you do not write your requirements in horizontal tables, and rather in vertical tables, no worries. You can still apply the rule Transformations for vertical tables. This rule is more limited than others, but it fulfills almost all use cases about vertical tables. This other rule will let you add a configuration macro. It is only useful if you change pages in bulk. If you have links on a page, the star indicates that the space key or variant is specified, and it differs from the current variant in space. You can use a rule to manage the hard-coded variant and space. clicking Remove the Space Key and Remove the Variant will get rid of the star and ensure the links point to other requirements of the same space. And on the contrary, if you copy links to another space, you'll want to use this rule to make all the links point to the original space. And this last transformation will help you if you've decided to migrate from server to the cloud without CCMA, allowing you to transform server macros into cloud macros. Now, let's get to the interesting part. Once you've created a transformation for a single page, you can apply it in bulk to a lot of pages on the space. Go into the Pages tab, search for specific pages, and select the ones you want to apply the transformation to. At the bottom, click on Select a Transformation and choose one that you previously saved, and then click on Transform. This page will also let you transform one page at a time, and if you are looking for a template requirement document, click on Create a Requirement page at the bottom. A couple of requirements will be created as an example using the page's capitals as prefix. For administrators, all those transformations can be edited and shared in the Admin panel. And you now know all the transformations you can do with Requirement Yogi. If you feel like we do not cover your use case and need something more, please let us know through the support. In the meantime, watch our other tutorials.